If you could say what's up, guys, what is going on? Hope everybody's doing well. Manchester United versus Athletic Bilbao 4-1. This is an old game. I know this is an old game, the Europa League. Why am I watching this? Because I was not going to watch yesterday's game, which was against, and I was actually watching the Clasico, so I much preferred watching the Clasico over the game that they played against West Ham because they ended up losing, and yet again, even though, as I always say, like, I'm used to United not being, what they once were. And if you watch United with a different set of lenses, which they're just not a good team anymore, not that team, the team that we're accustomed to, I think you can enjoy United. I believe that you can still somewhat enjoy even a bad game. I would still want to cover a bad game. If there wasn't this game from Europa that I really want to watch, I still would have covered the old game because there's always something to talk about, even as bad as that game must have been. And I did catch the first leg of the Athletic Bilbao one, but I only caught the first half. And correct me if I'm wrong, but was that the game or the first half? I don't think it was the entire game that Garnacho had a really good game. I don't know. I got to be careful with that. I don't know. Where I was like, wow. I think I was telling everybody, did you see that? You got to watch that just to watch Garnacho. Maybe it was against Lyon. Maybe I'm getting it wrong. It was against Lyon. But this game, man, this game was such a delight, such a treat. I'm happy for United. Please, United, win this. Go all the way. Just don't get to the final and lose against Spurs. That'd be something funny. It's impressive how well they're playing in the Europa. And yet in the Premier League, I don't know, you could just laugh at that. You could add a whole bunch of things to say there. I'm chuckling. Like, how is it that you guys play so differently and then in the Europa you play, this good? What a game. What a game. And I'm happy for Mason Mount. It was nice to see Diallo back. And Garnacho, I mean, kind of doesn't change whether he's playing Europa or doesn't, or he's playing the Premier League. Had two opportunities, two of them. That second one, I don't know what he was doing. Look, if we took Garnacho out to the park or something, to a game, just to play among friends, I'm sure in high speeds, because that was like, he was going super fast, mimicking the same game, I'm sure he would chip that ball. If you told him, there's no other way I want you to score but chipping that ball, he would make that look easy, super easy. And yet when he's playing there, I don't know what is going on, and like in these games like that, he's a striker. I mean, he's a forward, for crying out loud, and he just can't chip it the right. It was just like this bleh, I don't know what it was, this mess of a chip that he ended up trying to make. And then the first one, it's funny, when I looked at the highlights, they didn't show the first one for whatever reason, but I think it was Bruno Fernandes, because the second one was Dorgu that ended up giving him that pass. But the first one, Bruno Fernandes gives him a pass, and he tries to roll it over that's not going to work, man. That's not going to work unless you have tarantula-like legs, where you could kind of like stretch all the way and the keeper's not going to get there. He was just so close to be able to do a simple little rollover. The keeper's got the advantage that he could use his hands, right? So, once again, just Garnacho doing Garnacho things. And he got subbed off, thankfully, and I didn't think he had a bad game, by the way. I don't think he had like the horrible game. Obviously, people are going to say, well, if he missed those two opportunities, especially that second one, then he had a horrible, abysmal game. I don't believe in that. Just, I mean, it's bad, I get that, but I thought he was having a decent enough game. He was having a pretty okay game. If he would have missed those two and then had an assist, I would have been like, yeah, I'm happy, because again, the bar is set so low. Remember, the bar is set very low that I'm not expecting much from a player like Garnacho. So maybe that's why I was so impressed when he played against, again, I think it was against Lyon, that I was like, wow, this is amazing. Where if it was another player, you'd be like, well, that's what he does, every week, week in, week out. He does that all the time. So he had the worst game. He didn't have the worst game, let's put it that way. But it was so nice to see Diallo back, and the huge difference that United play when he's on the field. And that's sad, because I don't want United to be depending on just one guy, one player. But they are solely dependent on this player, especially when I think this was, I don't know how many, I think it was last year when Bruno didn't play, you could tell the significance and how much they actually needed Bruno. A player like Bruno I would accept, but a forward, like a striker, like a winger like Diallo, that shouldn't be the case. I'm sorry, that should not be the case. It's not like he's like Cristiano Ronaldo or anything like that. But significant. It changed because Bilbao looked in that second half. The first half kind of even. I think United had more opportunities. And of course, the goal. I got to talk about that goal, because what I really like, I mean, the goal itself was just like, in and of itself was an amazing goal. The strike, the placement. Onana did get two hands, if I'm not mistaken, to it. but just the placement from outside, just beautiful, beautiful goal. And what I liked the most was the fans. Those fans, and those are the kind of fans, like I'm thinking about Athletic Madrid fans, Sevilla fans, when they play at home. What a crowd, what an atmosphere. And it was so nice to see that, because if it was, I'm sorry to say this, and I'm not trying to diss Arsenal, but if that was like Arsenal fans, it's like you wouldn't have heard anything. You wouldn't have heard anything. You wouldn't have felt anything. And it was so nice after that goal, because it was possibly a comeback from Bilbao. At that point, I think it was 3-1, right? The overall score, the global score, 3-1. And there was an opportunity. There was a possibility of them coming back, because that second half, I don't know, like maybe 20 minutes, maybe half an hour, maybe 20 minutes, it was all Bilbao. And they were just lingering on United's final third, just constantly lingering. Now, there was no dangerous plays. There was no like dangerous situations. There was no opportunities for them to score, but they were there. They were making themselves felt, and I wouldn't have been surprised if the second goal came. And if that second goal came, I'm pretty sure a third one was going to come, because United weren't really creating that many opportunities, and they were just defending, which they were doing a really good job. Really good job from the whole team, not just the back line. Everybody was doing good at just going back. And out of nowhere, Mason Mount, they make the changes, the switches. He comes in, and you know what? Lenny Yoro, please become that player. I want to see more of that Lenny Yoro, just driving up front, driving upwards, just constantly driving and just breaking those lines. Gives it to Mason Mount. I thought he was going to give it right back, the 1-2. And Mason Mount, I don't know what was going through his head, but whatever went through his head, I mean, keep doing that, Mason Mount. The guy felt inspired or whatever. Little heel flick, and without looking. I'm sure he wasn't even looking. I think if I remember correctly, the replay, he wasn't even looking, and just beautiful, beautiful placement. 1-1. We're off to the races. 1-1. And then the second one, Casemiro, which I thought also had a good game. A lot of people were telling me like he was like king in this game. I thought he had a good game. Really important recoveries. Very sturdy in that midfield as always. Didn't make as many mistakes. He was good. He was good. But I think it was a shoulder. I think he hit it with a shoulder. 2-1. That's it. It's sealed for me. It was sealed at that point. And Diallo just constantly making these runs and playing along with Dorgu. Beautiful. And the third goal, I almost thought he was going to miss it, because this guy has such a difficult time scoring, even if the goal is like wide open and beckoning for it to be scored on. Rasmus Højlund, because when you see Diallo, I think Diallo makes the center, it deflects and it hits. It veers just slightly enough where Højlund wasn't sure, what do I do? He was just rooted to the ground, and ends up getting that little tap that thankfully the goalie wasn't there anymore. I think if the goalie wasn't beat from the center, I don't think he would have scored. I believe he wouldn't have scored. 3-1, and out of nowhere, keeper makes a huge mistake, giving the ball right to Mason Mount, and thankfully Mason Mount didn't completely kill that ball. And what I mean is, if the ball, I think, was like completely dead on the ground, and he would have shot it from that position, I don't think, maybe I'm wrong, because of the time that it was spent hanging in the air, maybe I don't know about the defender, but the keeper might have been able to have gotten it there. But because it had a little bounce to it, it was able to go a little bit more straight. Instead of making that arch, it just would have gone straight to the goal. So thankfully, he ended up doing that, and you got your 4-1, and they went. And Amarin's face, there's that kind of like divider, that little wall on the dugout bench or whatever. You see him just like, putting his forearms against it. All he needed to do was one of these, because he was elated. He was absolutely hit by Cupid's arrow. The huge smile on this guy's face. He was over the moon. So there we have it. That was the victory. Really good game. I'm so happy I caught that game. Happy that they're in the final. Please, United, take this all the way. And they're going to do it. I have faith. I think I'm going to make a prediction here, which I don't really like to do, but I think United's going to take this. I'm saying that I feel like I'm jinxing it, because they're just doing so well in this tournament. I don't think anything's going to take it away from them. But anyways, we'll see. Anyways, guys, that's all I want to talk about. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.